Well, hello there. I didn't see you come in. Christmas. It's a time of giving, a time of family, and of course a time for gifts. Some of my fondest memories are waking up, running downstairs to the Christmas tree, and tearing open my presents to see what my parents had gotten me that year. And of course Santa too. We all know he's real. Some of my most fondest video game memories though are getting Crash Bandicoot, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and of course various Pokemon games. Christmas. It's an amazing time of year. Or at least it was.
Nowadays all you ever see is discount this, discount that, Black Friday, and worst of all, Christmas music in October. The end of days are upon us. People are trampling each other while running into the department store. Small children are being crushed while their parents claw desperately at their new flat-screen TV they've been craving. All the while, there's an even better model coming out next week at half the price. This one talks.
And that's precisely what we're going to be talking about today. No, not anything Christmas related. That's stupid. No, we're going to be talking about the apocalypse. Specifically the one in this game. Darksiders. I'm reviewing Darksiders. I have 2 copies. Fight me!
Darksiders was developed by Vigil Games and was first published by the now dead THQ, which has recently seen new life thanks to Nordic Games, now known as THQ Nordic. Darksiders was first released on January 5th, 2010, with a remastered version being released on November 22nd, 2016 for the Xbox One, PS4, PC, and eventually the Wii U. Maybe. Darksiders was one of the first critical successes upon its release by receiving mostly positive reviews, averaging out at about an 8 out of 10. Dakota Grabowski from GameZone stated, THQ and Vigil Games did an outstanding job creating an intellectual property that has weight. The voice acting is top-notch, the combat is exquisite, the replay value is high, and the world they have created is fascinating. Darksiders is a marvelous way to start out 2010.
Overall, Darksiders was very well received by gamers and critics alike, and it would eventually spawn its own sequel simply titled Darksiders 2, which it also got a remastered version, but I don't have that one. But we'll get to this one eventually. Right now, let's dive right into the plot and see if this is as good as people say. Shall we? I did the same fucking thing 2 times in a row.
Since the beginning of time, heaven and hell have been at war, with neither side ever being able to get the upper hand over the other. After centuries of war, a group of beings known as the Charred Council decided this shit needs to stop, like, right now, and put heaven and hell in their respective corners. To help keep both sides in line, the council appointed 4 horsemen to battle against both forces if either one decided to break the truce. Cut to modern day and we see people going through their everyday lives when all of a sudden, fucking demons! Oof! Ow! You might want to get that looked at. Oh, he's got a bus. Luckily, War, rider of the Red Horse, crashes to Earth to slay both angel and demon and restore balance to the worlds. After treading through the city and kicking some major demonic ass, he comes up on an elite group of angels known as the Hellguard, led by their illustrious leader, Abaddon, who seems to know more about the attack on Earth than anyone else as he mutters the 7th seal wasn't broken.
You see, there are 7 seals, each of which are supposed to be broken to begin the End War. But there's just one problem. The 7th seal is supposed to summon all 4 of the riders, and from the looks of it, it wasn't broken. Either that or War just wasn't invited to hang out with the rest of the riders. Hashtag forever alone!
Soon after his little freakout, Abaddon is killed by a massive hunk of hot and demonic Straga, who also makes short work of War after he is weakened even more than he already is. War then finds himself being judged by the Council, who have accused War of aiding Hell in the destruction of Earth. After a bit of arguing, War is given the task of discovering who caused the apocalypse early and end them. War then relinquishes even more of his power and is bound to an entity known as the Oh, excuse me. I mean the Watcher, who is just the nicest of fellows. Yeah, I'm just kidding. War and the Watcher are teleported to a scorched earth exactly 100 years after the End War was triggered, and the Welcome Party is, very dead. After fighting through hordes of zombies and demons, you meet up with the merchant Volgrim, who helps you out along your journey as long as you're able to bribe him with a few hundred souls here and there. After giving him enough souls, Volgrim informs you of the Black Tower, where the Destroyer resides, and directs you to a former demon lord, Samael, who can get you to your destination. You soon find that Samael is in prison and must be freed by letting 3 gargoyles bleed into the center of his cage.
That's metal as fuck!
And very unsanitary. But hey, it's really Samael, and that's pretty cool by me! After releasing Samael and enduring his poor attempt at scaring the Horsemen of War, he informs War in order to get War to the Black Tower, he must first regain his power, which is separated into 4 hearts, each of which are in the chests of 4 massive demons known as the Chosen. War must find and defeat each of the Chosen to return Samael to his full power and reach the Black Tower to kill the Destroyer.
That's simple enough. I mean, how hard can it be for the embodiment of war and destruction? What follows is a grand adventure with action, suspense, and gallons upon gallons of blood! That's a lot of blood. The story itself is actually pretty awesome. It sets up this world that feels like it could exist. While War himself is this one-note, big, hulking, brooding character, there are some moments, specifically one which we'll get to later, where he feels kind of human, despite being a walking slaughterhouse. There are actually a couple comic books which expand even more on this universe, and they're actually pretty fun to read. Now, the story itself is pretty great, but what about the music and graphics? How do they fare? I don't know, let's dive in and check it out.
When first released, Darksiders was absolutely beautiful on the Xbox 360, with excellent environments and a very unique style in terms of character and weapon design, which were only greatly expanded upon thanks to the remastered edition. While not as stunning as games nowadays, there were moments where I couldn't help but stop and take in the scenery. It's just so beautiful! Going through the varied environments in Darksiders is an absolute treat and are quite welcome. Towards the beginning of the game, you traverse pretty blah environments like the Crossroad, consisting of mostly grays and browns, which typically is what's thought of when someone says apocalypse. Some of the environments are just downright eerie. The bat-infested choking grounds are probably the best example of this. I mean, it's set in a graveyard, so how much creepier can it be?
Anyways,
as the story progresses, however, we soon start seeing more varied and beautiful environments, from gorgeous forest-like areas to scorching deserts. The Greenlands bring a sort of beauty to the apocalypse that at times is glossed over in media.
brings a sort of elegance to demon slaying, doesn't it?
I died! Despite most of the game taking place in ruined locales, each environment still has a lot of character, and that's thanks to this wonderful style Darksiders brings to the table. This was all made possible thanks to the lead designer, Joe this guy, whose work includes Marvel's Uncanny X-Men and his own series Battle Chasers. All of the characters, enemies, and some architectural pieces all look like they were pulled straight from a comic book, and it gives Darksiders its own style. The creators could easily have made everything more realistic, but I feel the comic-like aesthetic really makes Darksiders what it is. Character designs are possibly some of the best I've seen in a video game. Every character, whether it be friend or foe, has this nice, sharp design that makes every creature that much more interesting to look at. However, some of the designs do get a little lazy here and there. For example, there are 3 forms of the standard angel: normal, green, and red. They all have the same attacks, same patterns, and they can be killed the same. The only difference between the 3 is 2 forms are aligned with hell, while the normal ones are aligned with heaven, obviously.
This isn't the only time it happens, but most of the palette swaps typically have a new way of attacking, or they just gain extra armor and are a little bit more of a pain to deal with. One of the best examples are the minions. Just like the angels, there's 3 types, and each of them have their own way of attacking. One claws at you, one slices you with its spines, and the other shoots fireballs. It's the little things, you know? Also, am I the only one who thinks War is possibly one of the most badass looking characters, like, ever? No? Well, good. By the way, that's Liam O'Brien voicing War, not Troy Baker. Just thought I'd point that out.
Darksiders in most cases tends to shy away from using music unless there's something big happening on screen. Most of the time the game is quite silent to emphasize that not all is well, and at any moment a demon could pop up and ruin your day. Regardless of that, the music is absolutely amazing, taking advantage of the orchestral style, creating a very haunting and aggressive tone, which in a game about the apocalypse is very welcome. It's good! As for the voice acting, it's pretty underwhelming. Practically everyone talks in such a low and brooding voice that it's hard to really empathize with anybody. War is probably the worst. I get it, you're War, rawr and shit, but lighten up, will you? Probably the best voice acting comes from J.B. Blanc, who plays the Black Hammer Ulthane. This dude is just amazing. I mean, listen to this guy.
You could have knocked. I suppose that isn't your way, is it? Now get off of my property before more pigeons come looking at crap in me yard.
He's absolutely hilarious and gives 0 fucks. It's great. Mark Hamill is pretty good as the Watcher, but I can't get the Joker out of my head when I hear him speak.
Oh God, bitch! What did you do? I'm going to pull your guts out through your hair! Keep getting up. I'll just kill you again.
I can't really hate on the voice acting too much. It's not terrible, and we do get some emotion other than grrr when War gets his horse back. So that's pretty cool.
Presentation-wise, Darksiders is pretty good. The visuals are nice, and so are the character models, and oh god, don't even get me started on the music! I just wish the voice acting was a little more upbeat, rather than Christian Bale levels of I am the Lord, where you I should also mention that the remastered version has this issue where it likes to end cutscenes a little early, and also during the cutscenes that actually work, the audio goes out of sync, and it's kind of jarring. They've since released a patch for this, but during my playthrough, which is the remastered version, it was very frustrating to get to some of the coolest scenes in the game and then have it abruptly cut short. Made my experience with this version very frustrating and annoying, and I hope I didn't break it. Well, now that we got that out of the way, let's get on to the gameplay. Onward, steed! What?
Somebody call the hospital! Darksiders is a third-person action role-playing game with hack-and-slash style of combat. In fact, that's what you'll mainly be doing throughout the entirety of your playthrough, slicing through enemies like a hot knife through butter. War is able to wield an array of weapons such as a scythe, a pistol, and a huge-ass shuriken straight out of Naruto. War's main weapon, however, is a huge-ass sword called a Chaos Eater, which really lives up to its name. This is how you'll mainly dispatch your enemies, by mashing the attack button over and over and over again. You can use other weapons in tangent with your sword to string combos together, but you'll most likely continue mashing the attack button. Don't fret, over time you can purchase power-ups and combos through Vulgrim's shop. These actually help keep the combat from getting stale and provide some pretty cool moves. I mean, look at that ground pound. That's a good ground pound. The way you purchase power-ups is by using the Souls of the Dead, which actually come in 3 different flavors: blue, green, and yellow. Blue souls, as mentioned, are used as currency and can be found by destroying objects around the world or in chests, which can also contain the other 2 types of souls. You can also obtain extra souls by finding 2 types of artifacts scattered around the world. Soldier artifacts are worth 500 souls, and champion artifacts are worth 1,000 souls. Green souls are used to heal War after he's sustained too much damage. You can upgrade your overall health by finding lifestone shards scattered throughout the game. You can also obtain full lifestones by defeating the 5 bosses throughout the game and collecting all the artifacts. Finally, the yellow souls give War Wrath, a consumable energy that allows him to use special abilities. These abilities can be accessed by pressing down on the D-pad and pressing the corresponding buttons to which each ability is assigned. There are 4 abilities in total: the Blade Geyser, Stone Skin, Immolation, and Affliction. Similar to how you upgrade your health, you can also upgrade your overall Wrath meter by finding Wrath shards. Find 4 shards, get a core, yada yada yada, bigger Wrath meter.
And you know what they say, bigger is always better.
As you progress through the game, you are given several passive abilities to help you on your journey. Most of these are given to you by Big, Red, and Scary over here. Most of these let you get through an area easier, like wings to help you glide and reach higher places, or the ability to slow time to avoid giant worms that love the taste of Nephilim. Unfortunately, these don't really have much use outside of specific points in the game. It's really upsetting that Warsteed Ruin can only be used in specific terrain, and you don't even get him until about 3/4 into the game, which really sucks because look at him! That's one badass horse! Such a shame. War also gains the ability to unleash his Chaos form, a large hulking creature made of burning hellfire that makes War invulnerable to attacks and dishes out an insane amount of damage. War is able to use this form after filling his Chaos meter after enough successful melee attacks. It's best used when there are several powerful and annoying enemies that are on screen at once. Once close to death, an icon appears over some enemies' heads. This allows War to perform brutal finishers that usually wind up with enemy limbs scattered across the battlefield in a glorious and bloody fashion. Some enemies will take multiple finishers to finally be taken down, while some can be killed instantly. It's actually quite fun to string several of these together, especially with the bad enemies, which I should mention is a trophy. Killing enemies this way can actually give you different souls rather than killing them normally.
I should probably mention the boss battles. Yeah, those seem important.
Boss battles in Darksiders are large and epic in scale. Many of them require a specific weapon found in each of their respective stages to defeat them. For example, Tiamat requires you to toss a bomb onto her and ignite it with the shuriken to bring her down to your level. To be honest, this is about as difficult as bosses get. The Griever and the Stygian are probably the easiest bosses you'll encounter in the game. I mean, all you have to do is shoot the Stygian in the mouth while avoiding its tiny minions until you eventually take it down. I hate to say this, but the bosses, while awesome in scale, just don't cut it when it comes to difficulty. Even on the hardest difficulty, they're pretty easy once you know what you're doing.
Before I continue, I actually real quick want to talk about a secret boss that you find once you get the right weapons, and that's the one, the only, Wicked K.
Ah, capital. You made it.
This dude is literally the best thing about Darksiders in my opinion. The first time I encountered him, I was like, the fuck? You can fight him up to 4 times and he's actually quite difficult. All you really get from him is a large amount of souls after defeating him. I say he's difficult because he blocks just about every attack you throw at him, and he deals an insane amount of damage. The best way to deal with him that I found was to set Affliction to the highest level that it could possibly be, to let that loose and watch the fireworks. Fuck, but it's worth it in the long run just to see a zombie with a British accent wearing a frickin' top hat and twirling a cane.
Overall, Darksiders is a nice mixture of action and puzzle platforming, similar to The Legend of Zelda and God of War, sprinkled with a little devil may cry. It's a nice blend that ultimately works out in the end. The story is the best that I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing, and it's still just as awesome the second, third, and fourth time around. Maybe even fifth you want to get a little naughty. Christmas joke. It is extremely satisfying fighting and dispatching the enemies with the weapons that War gets throughout his journey. I will say that the boss fights are ultimately underwhelming and just a minor scuff on the game's part. If you're interested in Darksiders, you can actually get the remastered or Warmastered edition on PS4, Xbox One, and PC for about $20. It looks nice and it runs at a smooth 1080p 60 FPS, but if you still have yet to get a new console, you can just as well find the Xbox 360 PS3 version for relatively cheap at your local GameStop or whatever game store you have nearby. With all that in mind, guys, I am proud to present Darksiders with a gold star, and I highly recommend you give this game a look, as well as its sequel, which I'm sure I'm going to cover at a later date. And this is where I'm going to end the episode, guys. I do hope you all enjoyed, and I'll be back with another review as soon as I can. With all that being said, guys, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and here's to 2017. It's going to be a wonderful year, I just know it, and I can't wait to see everybody in the new year. So, with all that being said, I want everybody to have a wonderful day, enjoy your holidays, enjoy your feast times with your family, because I'm sure know I'm going to enjoy the rest of my holiday season. So, I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care, and have a good night. toys!
Hello and Merry Christmas, guys. This is Ace here once again, saying thank you for tuning in to this little Christmas special I decided to do last minute, like the last possible minute. Well, I did it because I wanted to kind of give back to you guys for being so absent this year, and I plan on making 2017 a better year for the channel and get more reviews and top fives and whatnot out in more of a timely fashion. This is something that I really love to do, and I know some of you, actually plenty of you out there, enjoy my content, and I want to share something nice with the world and kind of, I don't know, entertain people. Yeah, that's the word. With all that being said, I want to say thank you all once again for watching, and if you want to be notified as to when I'm uploading again, then why not hit that little bell icon, leave a like, leave a comment, and if you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button and do all the stuff I said before, and I'll be sure to be back with some better content and in the near future. I have things planned. It's all gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Anyways, I'm gonna get going now, guys. I want to say thank you all once again for watching, and I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season, and I will definitely see you guys next time. So, with all that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Take care, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.